She was getting her vitals taken. The nurse was brisk, efficient, bored. It was routine. Just as Amara's name was called out, the nurse paused. "I can't find your pulse in this arm,"
That's odd,
she said, frowning slightly. "What? No pain? No injury? No problem?" That was strange. Ain't. But then Amara noticed how cold her right hand felt. The thing with the missing pulse kept happening, coming and going without warning. It lasted for long, thankfully, but even a few seconds without a pulse felt ominous, like the calm before a storm. Maybe it was just one of those weird quirks, like a hickey that comes and goes. But what if it doesn't go away? What if it stays and gets worse? The left one, where the nurse had found her pulse, was fine. But her right hand was freezing. The nurse tried again, more firmly this time. Still nothing. She knew what a missing pulse meant, and it wasn't nothing. Weeks passed, and Amara's unease only grew. But now her own body was giving her a riddle she couldn't solve. Some doctors said the machine must be broken. Others insisted the pulse was too faint to detect. And each time they let her go, she felt more alone. She looked down in time to see her fingers turn pale, almost white. Each time it happened, she'd frantically check for her pulse, feeling for the familiar thump, thump, thump that shouldn't be there. She was a med student training to save lives, not have them slip through her own fingers. Then one day, during a routine check at her university clinic, the nurse's face blanched as she tried to find Amara's pulse. When she looked up, she saw concern etched on the faces of the doctors around her. "There's no need to panic," she said quietly, "but I really can't find it. It might be a mistake. Let me try again." And that didn't work. The nurse called for a senior doctor. More frowns, more checks, more confusion. Her subclavian artery, the major vessel feeding blood to her right arm, was almost completely closed off. She had Takayasu arteritis, a rare autoimmune vasculitis that causes inflammation and narrowing of large arteries, especially the aorta and its branches. What if it was a clot, an autoimmune issue? What if it was something incurable? She wasn't imagining it. Her pulse was truly vanishing, but her own body held the hardest case of all. "There must be some reason your pulse is missing," they said, trying to reassure her. "But I think it's probably nothing. By the time pulses disappear, damage may already be serious." For a moment, Amara saw fear reflected in their eyes. For a week after that, she was tested, poked, scanned, and monitored until her head spun. "You might be right. Your pulse isn't playing hide and seek. It's trying to tell you something is wrong. It's very wrong." Blood tests were clean. The EKG was normal. But Amara knew better. Something was wrong, seriously wrong. And when the doctors sent her home day after day, she couldn't help but panic. She was studying to learn how to read other people's bodies, diagnose their ailments, and figure out what was wrong. Each time she went to the hospital, they checked her pulse, did more tests, ran more scans, but they couldn't figure it out. It was like they were telling her she was imagining things. They thought she was making it up. Then during one of her shifts in the ER, while treating another patient, she felt the telltale weakness in her right arm. She yanked her hand back, startled by the sight of her own extremity. For once, they weren't dismissing her. Finally, a senior doctor took her seriously, calling for an immediate arterial Doppler scan. As the results came back, the room grew silent.
Oh,
Everyone stared at the screen. Outside, sirens wailed. Inside, alarms blared. They found the problem, the culprit. How could this be happening? The answer lay hidden deep within her own immune system, silently attacking her from the inside. After more tests, the truth hit her like a ton of bricks. It explained the missing pulse, the fatigue, the cold arm, everything. Takayasu arteritis is often called the pulseless disease. It mostly affects young women and targets large arteries, making it hard for blood to flow through. It's often misdiagnosed or ignored because symptoms are vague. Fatigue, limb, weakness, lightheadedness. If you ever feel your pulse fade away, don't ignore it. Sometimes the most silent symptom is the most deadly one. Amara studied to detect danger in others,